James Gunn gets fired from Disney for making some inappropriate tweets that he did years ago. Disney gives this son the boot. And then they hire him back because Dave Bautista's, a bunch of actors were complaining, and they hire him back to make Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And then he put in immediately his 2-week notice and worked for the immediate op, son.
Dip out a pistol, it got 30 rounds in it. Pull up at your mama's house and put some rounds in it.
We're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and James Gunn made a pretty good Marvel movie here. First off, Rocket Raccoon steals the show. He is the heart and the emotion of this Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Actually, I would have loved to see this in the first film, but I know they had to build up the other characters to make you buy Guardians of the Galaxy. That was Disney was on fire. I didn't read Guardians of the Galaxy growing up. I'm gonna admit it. I'm not like the super comic book nerd, so I had no idea about the Guardians of the Galaxy. I knew about Rocket Raccoon from Marvel vs. Capcom, but they took IP that nobody knew about and made it into a franchise, and James Gunn did that, so you gotta give respect to the director. How does he do them this time around? I think this is probably the second best Guardians of the Galaxy movie compared to the first one. Let's get into the villain here. The villain here, I did not love. I think he was overacting. Half of his scenes he was screaming at the top of his lungs. I think this dude is a good actor. But as a villain, he was just too much task twirling, and it was too much. And the plot that, you know what I'm saying, that was going on with Rocket Raccoon, him trying to get his brains and study his brain, went on for a little bit too long. I'm like, get off this nigga dick, son. I actually think Chris Pratt takes a back step in this movie. He's not as present in this movie. He takes a step back, and I don't think it hurts the movie as much, but I'm never with the team the whole time like I was in the first movie. Everybody's disjointed and they try to bring it together, and it doesn't work all the time. It's the second part of this film when they go to a second Earth, and I just didn't give a shit because they're trying to retrieve something to kind of save Rocket Raccoon. Small spoilers. Rocket Raccoon is in peril in this movie, you know what I'm saying? But it makes sense. But when they went there, like the jokes were not on point 100%. Like, I was laughing at some of them, but some of them I was not. And this movie has the first fuck in a Marvel movie, you know what I'm saying? And when they put it in the movie, I thought it worked perfectly. As far as the action in this movie, I tell you what, I think the CG people did a good job. I know everybody online likes to give CG artists a lot of shit. I'm a CG artist, and so like you were insulting, you know what I'm saying, Minecraft. It was too much CG and CG that. But you know how hard it is to do CG, you know what I'm saying? To actually sit down and make a composition, it's a very hard thing to do and make it believable. Here, I say the CG is on point, you know what I'm saying? They had hundreds and thousands of people, so it's way better than Ant-Man Quantumania. It just blows that one out of the water. This movie looks good, it sounds good. That brings me to the sound. It's a lot of soundtracks in this movie, just like all the other volumes of Guardians of the Galaxy, a lot of music. But in my honest opinion, I think some of the music could have been cut down. It's a lot of music that goes on for a long time, long sequences. Like, cut that shit down a little bit. Let's get back to the story. I didn't think you can make me give a shit about a raccoon. I got stories of a raccoon, and it involves a loaded handgun and a Renaissance sword. And one time it was some raccoons stuck in a dumpster. I put a stick in there, you know what I'm saying, so they can crawl out. It was like babies in a kind of the mother raccoon, so they can get out. I put that stick down there. That motherfucker bit the stick so hard, it shook the whole stick and shook my body. Like, just imagine if that was my hand, yo. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm not fucking with raccoons. But in this movie, they show these CG baby raccoons that will just melt your heart. The whole movie, I'm telling you, for price of admission is to go see these damn raccoons. You know what I'm saying? They sell the whole entire movie. As far as the rest of the cast, Dave Bautista is there. He's a better actor than he ever was before, but his jokes don't hit like the other two Guardians of the Galaxy movies. And as for the villain, I will go, the best villain is Ego the Living Planet from the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie. The villain here just didn't do it for me. So as a movie overall, I think this is the best Marvel movie that they came out with since probably No Way Home. And I would even say this movie is better than No Way Home. You know what I'm saying? How it flows and all that. Even though the movie comes to stagnant halts at times. I think No Way Home, I think I was just so hyped on the cocaine, which is nostalgia, that I really love that movie. But it's still a pretty good movie overall. But this movie I think is a tad bit better. Not the best Marvel movie, but trying to get back on track. So if I had to score Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, you know what? I was gonna give it a 3.75, but I'm gonna round it up to a 4. I think James Gunn is still in his bag, and he made me care about a raccoon animal. Second best CG performance I've seen since Caesar, since Planet of the Apes, son. It was a really good, like Bradley Cooper did that thing. It was so Bradley Cooper. I thought like, yo, this raccoon actually looks like Bradley Cooper a little bit. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I could tell he's acting his ass off doing this, you know what I'm saying, this mocap performance. He did a fucking phenomenal job as Rocket Raccoon here. So that's gonna be my score. I'm gonna label it 4 out of 5. You know what I'm saying? I did enjoy this movie. It flowed really well. It almost felt like the older Marvel movies back in the day. Not quite Winter Soldier level. Maybe up there with Black Panther. I think Black Panther, the first one, the plot and the lore is better. And that brings me here too. They go back into a lot of their lore here with Guardians of the Galaxy. You're gonna see things you've seen before in the franchise, which I like. Pluto the dog was also with his telekinesis. It was pretty funny. But overall, it's not a home run. It's not a knockout punch, but it's pretty good. And it makes me excited what James Gunn gonna do with his Superman movie. Can you make me care like you made me care about that goddamn raccoon? Can you make me care for Kal-El? But yo, that's my quick thoughts on the Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Have y'all checked it out? Let me know right down there in the comments below what you thought of this movie. Some of you guys may love it. I'm giving you my honest, true opinion. I think the movie's pretty good, not a home run. And once again, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this content, I say this all the time, go ahead, hit that like button if you really like this content. Subscribe to the Q Review channel. And don't just stare at it, guys. Eat it. Peace.
I'm out cold, you hoes been exposed. Walk up on you slow with the flow, and I know you got more left for dead on the road. I strode when your car got